それでは時間となりましたので、セミナーを開始いたします。本日、座長を務めますのは、九州大学アジア・オセアニア研究教育機構、若林真美准教授です。若林先生、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much. Today's lecture is Special Appointed Assistant Professor Fadilla Zennifa at the Department of Agro-Environmental Science at Kyushu University. She will give the lecture entitled From the Math to the Fact, Developing a System to Find the Evidence of the Benefit of Natural Product from Brain Health and Mental Well-being. My name is Mami Wakabashi, an associate professor from Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Study. I am today's chairperson. I'm looking forward to the active discussion with you. And always the questions are very welcome and accepted through the chat box. You may write your question during the lecture. And Q&A session is a limited time, but I hope we can have an active Q&A session after the lecture. First, I would like to introduce Dr. Zennifa's career briefly. Dr. Zennifa obtained her doctorate degree at the Graduate School of System Life Science, Kyushu University in 2020. After that, she worked at the Advanced Fusion Research Center, Kyushu University, to develop the remote control system for radio frequency heating system. And then she obtained the current her position in 2023. She is now developing a system to investigate the human physiological change in natural product. I'm very looking forward to listen to her lecture today because I'm also the health specialist. So what kind of the kind of natural product influenced health is very interesting topic. So in this seminar, she will giving the lecture about the relationship between the volatile compound from the aroma and its effect on the brain and mental health. So, Dr. Zennifa, are you ready for today's lecture? I'm looking forward to listen to your lecture.
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction. So, yes, everyone, thank you very much for attending this lecture in lunchtime. So, first, I will try to share my screen. Is that okay?
It's free.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, I will start my presentation today. Thank you very much for Wakabayashi Sensei for your introduction. As you already see from the title, I'm trying to find the scientific evidence from many legend and myth that surrounded in our society. The things why I have this kind of interest because I actually from really small city from Indonesia. So if you see this face, this is Indonesian people face. Okay, then so this is Indonesia. The distance from Japan is quite far. It's like 18 hour, and I come from this area. This area is really small. Even some Indonesian doesn't know where's that. So usually when I try to introduce myself, I said I'm from Sumatra, but specifically I come from the city named Bengkulu. So in the Bengkulu, when I was grow up, there is no like really advanced technology. We have earthquakes mostly every day, and there are many mosquito. So no wonder there are many people get malaria in this area. Even myself, when I was a kid, I also have malaria, but now I'm okay. Then the thing is, because this is really small city, I have interest with the health. I have interest with the medical science. The thing is, I consider because I come from this small city, how to give more impact. So then I think, oh, maybe I need to learn about the electrical engineering. Why? Because when I learn electrical engineering, I can develop the system that I want to do. I can create sensors, or maybe I can develop medical devices, even though it is just prototype. So finally, I got my electrical engineering degree. In that time, I tried to make a study about how to detect early warning system for cardiovascular disease. Why? Because in Sumatra, there are a lot of people have the cardiovascular disease. So in 2012, I tried to develop this a kind of artificial intelligence system by using mobile devices to detect the cardiovascular disease and combine it with sensors called pulse sensor. Then I realized maybe to enhance my knowledge about human, about us, and to enhance my knowledge about technology, I need to go to a country that have really, really good in technology, which is Japan. Then I decided in 2013, right after 1 month I graduated from Bachelor of Engineering, I went to Fukuoka. I decided to study in Kyushu University. Why I didn't study in another place? Because I have really, really big trauma with earthquake. So I don't think Tokyo or other place is a good place for me. So that's why I tried to study in Kyushu University. Then from my study, I joined to the neuroinformatic and neuroimaging laboratory. It is in the West 2 Ito campus and also in Maidasi campus. There, I joined to the PhD for 5 years program, and then I graduated with thesis entitled Labeling Method by Popularimetry for Classifying Attention Level by EEG engineers. Again, here I also already show my interest to creating a system, hybrid system. So this I try to combine between the brain information, cardiovascular information, and the pupil size eyes information to the AI system. Then I graduated in 2020. 2020 is Corona time. So instead, I continue study in the human research. I switch off. I try to work in a company. I try to work a company. Then I realize I really love to work in university. So that is why I have a chance to return to the Kyushu University in 2021, and then I joined to the Chikushi campus research center. There again, I tried to created a system to develop a remote control for radio frequency heating system by remotely. Yeah, this kind of remote system become of my basic knowledge on creating and developing a system for human experiment. Again, back to the title that has been introduced by Wakabayashi Sensei. From myth to the fact, developing system. Why is it important to developing system when we want to see the scientific evidence? First, let's we see from the background. In this world, especially in the Kyushu Asia Oceania, because this brown bag seminar is hosted by Kyushu Asia Oceania, we see in various places in Asia Oceania, like Australia, we have the eucalyptus. If we talk about the natural product, okay, then in Indonesia itself, we also have the lemongrass, and also another lemongrass we also use in Indonesia for various aromatherapy. Then now, because we're in Japan, and maybe mostly the viewer is from Japan, so in Japan there are many type of woods that be used for any things for our life. The problem is this kind of wood, for example, hinoki or sugi. So maybe if you go to Otera, if you go to the temple, you're gonna see this kind of wood, and you're gonna smell the aroma from this wood. It's believed for B. It can make a relaxation. The problem is this kind of thing is just a myth because previously there is no scientific evidence for that. Also, not only talking about wood, if we talk about the plants for tatami, maybe if you already stay in Japan for a long, long time, you're gonna have experience for tatami. But maybe for young people, they don't have chance for that. So tatami itself actually created from igusa material. So to prove the myth and to prove the legend itself, the next thing we need to do is the scientific evidence. Let's say that today's topic is focusedly on the aroma. Why? Because if we can prove this kind of scientific evidence, it's not only we can increase the value of this material, this natural material to the market, but also we can enhance, we can increase, and we can find the new functionality of this product. And then go to our goal, we can stop the biodiversity loss. So this is actually one of the goal from natural products part in QSO Asia Oceania. But indeed, if we talk about aroma, if we talk about the volatile compound, is something that we cannot see, but we can smell it, we can feel it, but we cannot see. Because why? Because it's volatile material. So instead just doing one approach separately, I mean just doing the human experiment only, or just doing chemical experiment only, in my team, in Kaori team, we try to do the two approach parallelly. So first, because it's volatile material, we try to see inside this volatile material what kind of component, what kind of chemical component exists. So if in the future we want to repeat this experiment, we can repeat the experiment accurately because we already have the component inside the material that we use. Also, parallelly we do the human experiment because our motivation starting from the myth, from the legend, so from that popular aroma, we try to see the evidence from the psychophysiological activity by using a lot of type of sensors. So we are not only stick on one sensor, but we try to keep digging what kind of sensor suitable for specific protocol and specific aim. Then from those both information, we try to find the correlation and causalities from those material. Then in the end of the day, we hope we can help the society, not only help the researcher, but helping the industrial people to commercialize their product. So if I already mentioned about we are doing the human experiment. So in human experiment, generally we can divide it into two experiments, like physiological measurement and psychological measurement. Actually, we cannot spread it. We cannot spread it. It's like a couple. It's like husband and wife. If you want to measure the physiological measurement, it's better you also confirm from the psychological measurement. So our first approach, because we talk about aroma, the first approach is a brain. Because when we inhale the aroma go to our olfactory bulb and go to our brain location and trigger several part of our brain area. So this is why we do the experiment with the brain measurement first. Then not only brain, after the brain, after the aroma affecting our brain, affecting our mood, we also try to investigate the effect to our electrocardiovascular activity. Why? Because the cardiovascular activity have correlation with the stress level, relaxation level. So that is why in our system, since I'm not medical doctor, I'm engineer. So basically all the system that we use in our current experiment is non-invasive technique. What does it mean? The non-invasive techniques mean we don't do any surgery, we don't implant anything. Why? Because to conduct experiment with human, we need to apply for ethics. So if we want to do a kind of the invasive measurement, we need to collaborate with medical doctor. Hopefully after this presentation, I can collaborate with medical doctor so we can expand our research more to the invasive area. So talking about the non-invasive measurement, it's really common to use electroencephalogram and electrocardiograph. As maybe if you attend previous seminar by Kaneko Miki Sensei, so she also already mentioned about the electroencephalogram and electrocardiograph. So here, for your information, this is how our brain look like in real time. Human brain, not the animal brain. So actually it's different characteristic between our brain wave and our electrocardiograph wave. So if you never try to do the experiment with human, you can attend our laboratory and I can measure your brain activity. And also, not only the brain and also the cardiovascular activity, we also try to check the salivary alpha amylase level. Usually, when we try to conduct this kind of experiment, we conduct the experiment for more than an hour. Then here, why we try to check the salivary alpha amylase, because it also has correlation with the stress level. So we use these things usually before and after experiment, not during inhalation. As I mentioned before, that psychology and physiology is like husband and wife. Of course, after we talk about the physiological measurement, we also have protocol to conduct the psychological measurement. So, for example, if we want to do experiment with sleep activity, so we can try to conduct a self-based enquete, self-based questionnaire. The popular one is we call as Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index. I'm not sure you're familiar with this system or not, but by using this one, usually we use this questionnaire for screening our participant. Again, in this kind of experiment, we are working with humans. So if we have like specific what kind of participant we want, what kind of condition we want, so we will know what kind of the people suitable for our experiment. And then we also use another self-based questionnaire, which is this is not obstructive sleep apnea. Maybe if you go to other country like America, it's OSA or obstructive sleep apnea. But we have another questionnaire called same name OSA, but it's based on the Japanese researcher Oguri Shirakawa Azumi. So by this questionnaire, we can measure every day how the change of the sleep quality of the participant. Again, if we talk about aroma, sometimes I got question from the people who come to my conference. For example, they're gonna ask, Zennifa, how to distinguish? How do you make sure this aroma be liked by the participant? So that is why we also conduct a visual analog scale to know how much. To quantify how much the participant like the aroma or hating the aroma. And then another one, we use this profile of mood test. This is also one of the standard mood questionnaire be used in psychology. That is about the human experiment. And then if we talk about the chemical experiment, as I mentioned, we try to analyze the volatile. But how? I'm not sure if you are familiar with the chemical analysis, but usually if we do experiment in the experiment room, so in our experiment room, prior to experiment, we collect the air inside the room by using thermal desorption unit, by using this device. So this device will help us to collect the air in the environment. Then we analyze it by using the gas chromatomass spectroscopy. What kind of information we will know? Again, we will know the chemical compound analysis. We will know the chemical compound that exists on that material. So from my presentation, I already mentioned you a lot of approach for the human experiment to the chemistry experiment. So it means our system, our protocol is a hybrid protocol. It's not only electroencephalogram only. It's not only electrocardiogram only. So by this way, that's why when we try to do the analysis method, we need to understand. We need to be conscious. For example, if we have experiment regarding the sleep experiment, it's not time domain we analyze. So usually we convert the raw data of the electrophysiological signal to the frequency base, something like that. So this is actually what our team do. That's why the title is about the developing system, right? So that is about the theory. Okay, Zennifa, so can you show us about your study case, our team study case? So as I mentioned before, in Japan, there are a lot of wood product, there are a lot of forestry product. But if we see generally, there are four forestry product that commonly used in commercial. So one of the biggest one is like Cryptomeria japonica, or maybe some of you know it as asugi. So then the next one is hinoki. Hinoki also really popular. And if you ask me, I really love the hinoki aroma. So I will go to our next study. In our laboratory, collaborate with the Professor Okamoto Tsuyoshi from System Life Sciences. So in the past, we have a question: how to prove that the material created from sugi can have effect to our sleep quality. So what we do is like we try to create a model house. We invite the participant. We do the crossover experiment. So for you who doesn't know what is crossover experiment, so crossover experiment is like from one person, they got two condition, A condition and B condition. So we try to create it a model house. One model house created by the Sugi, and another material consisted of resin. So here when we see the volatile material, we can see that Sugi material have a lot of sesquiterpene. It means, what does it mean? It means the material, the Sugi material that we use is have really pleasant kauri. The aroma is really, how to say? The aroma is fragrance. It's fragrance, okay? But the resin is doesn't have anything. It's just like no aroma. Then we did the sleep experiment and we found the evidence. We use electroencephalography actually. Then we try to check the deep sleep, the deep sleep quality, and we found that from our study the Sugi material can increase the quality of sleep comparing with the control by using a resin. The other one, the second material that really popular to be used in Japan is hinoki, or in scientific name is kameke. How to say? Kamepiperis obtusa, something like that. Okay, so this article also already published this year. Here, what we did instead we did the sleep experiment. We tried to do the cognitive experiment. So here we asked the participant to conduct the crippling test, to do the crippling test, and then we try to check various factors from electrocardiogram information to the brain analysis information. Since I have a responsibility for the brain analysis, so here I just show you the brain analysis data. So our team can prove that, oh, under the hinoki material, comparing with the control is like same like a resin. So we use our experiment room and we put the material like this. We arrange the material like this, and we can find that under the hinoki material, the engagement index or the focus index of the participant is increased. Again, we found the evidence of that. Then that is the hinoki material. Currently, we have ongoing experiment. So the ongoing experiment, we are trying to find the evidence of the sleep quality by using hinoki essential oil. And what makes this study interesting this time, in current protocol, instead we invite the participant to our laboratory, we try to conduct experiment remotely in our participant home. Why? Because we expect by this kind of protocol, we can get more accurate data, and we can conduct parallel experiment at the same time and for longer time. Like in our first publication about Sugi, we only do the experiment for 1 day, and for this experiment, we do the experiment with 2 weeks. So from that experiment, we found, oh, again, we found the evidence that after this is mean the period of measurement, like after 7 weeks and after 14 weeks, we found that the delta band, which is have correlation with the deep sleep, is increasing when the participants sleep with the aroma of hinoki. And again, this one, how we created this protocol, of course, after we do the several preliminary experiment. And again, as our standard is not only doing the human experiment, we also have the laboratory condition for confirming what kind of the chemical existed in the material that we use. That is about hinoki. Then about tatami or something similar like tatami. We also conduct the experiment, and we found that the experiment that has correlation with this one is cognitive experiment. We found it's under publication, so you still cannot read that yet. It's still under publication process. So we found that under the igusa under the igusa aroma during this cognitive experiment, we found that the participant has more focus in this area. Maybe if you see from my slide before, I saw several lobes. So our brain, we have four big lobes, right? One of them is like frontal lobe. So usually frontal area, this frontal area has correlation with the cognitive activity. So here we found by using the frequency analysis from the beta band, we found that it's like higher activity when the participant conduct the cognitive experiment under the igusa. It means what? It means igusa can enhance, this is the statistic analysis, the igusa can enhance the concentration while working. that is about natural product aroma because I belong to the Kyushu University Asia Oceania from natural product model. But our study is not limited only in the natural product actually. Why? Because actually in our society, synthetic aroma is also popular to be used. So if you go to the Iong or if you go to the Rimieru, you're gonna see various of aroma, right? Not only the natural aroma. One of the popular aroma that commonly be used is white moss. So we also try to prove the white moss that exists in the commercial in the commercial company or industry. What is actually their effect to our brain when we inhale that? So after our preliminary experiment, we try to conduct experiment in the experiment room in QS University West 5. Then we try to do again two approach, the chemical approach and the human experiment approach. Then we found that wow, the aroma white moss from this 1 day experiment, we found that it can decrease the beta band. So the participant just been asked to close eyes. Here we conclude that the aroma white moss can enhance your more relaxation feeling, and also we can prove that the there is the difference between when there is aroma and when there is no aroma from the gamma band. And this kind of study also has been published in the Nature branch journal, which is we call it scientific report. So that is actually what I can say about the theoretical and about our real project about how to developing a system to enhance our well-being. But again, the big note of this kind of project is like we cannot just stand alone. I cannot working only by engineering skill but I also need to collaborate with someone who have expertise in chemistry and agriculture. Then we can find and when we then we can develop a novel approach together. So for the participants who joined to this speech today, I hope we can have more discussion today, and maybe it's gonna be really good if we can do some collaboration. And then if you have more interest in our laboratory, you can type on the Google just Kaori team, and you're gonna find our project information. I think that's all from me, Wakabayashi Sensei. Thank you very much. Oops, wait, this was this. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zennifa. It was wonderful and very energetic, the presentation. I really impressed about your experiment and you had a theoretical part and your real experiment. That combination was very understandable and easy to absorb my interest. So
Thank you very much.
I would like to encourage all the participants, if you have any question, please put on the chat box. And it's very fast. During the lecture, already we got the questions. So first question I would ask to you, the Zennifa Sensei. First things from the audience, are the aroma effect changed by subjective performance? For the instance, if we like one aroma more, can be more effective? Did you got the meaning of the question? This
Yes.
participant asking the effect of the aroma.
Yes. So, thank you very much for the question. So, regarding the subject preference, first, as I mentioned before, when we do the experiment, we try to confirm we try to quantify the participant tendency and impression to the aroma. So, by using this visual analog score. So, usually we try to average the data and we try to see how significant it is. Mostly in our experiment we try to compare with aroma and without aroma. We have not yet performed experiments like aroma B, aroma C, aroma D, aroma E. Have not done it yet. We are doing that. We are doing that now, but we have not published that yet. So to answer your question, so basically people who join to our experiment, they don't have tendency to hate the aroma. But if you ask is there any effect of subjective preference? The possibility is there. For example, in our last publication in the scientific report, we mentioned that when you like the aroma, there is possibility of your brain area, which is we call is like 1/f area. I'm sorry for little bit technique. It's gonna be higher rather than when there is no aroma. So in conclusion, in our study, we have not compared the aroma you like and aroma you dislike. So, but if for the possibility, is there any possibility the aroma become enhanced because of the participant like it or not? In my hypothesis, yes. In my hypothesis, but of course we need to prove it, and maybe you can collaborate with us.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Very clear answer. So we need to wait for your update so the participant can follow your research. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
So I also would like to ask another question. Your title from the myth to the fact is very impressive. In the course of your research, or perhaps from the previous study in this field, could you share the most surprising instance where the ancient folklore or the myth was substituted by data? Conversely, have there been any cases where the commonly believed effect was actually not observed?
Yes. Wow. Again, this is really has correlation with our topic today. So, yeah, talking about the myth and fact. Let's say now the topic that I bring is about the hinoki and sugi. So we always have a belief that sugi, for example, sugi can enhance our relaxation, or it can increase our deep sleep level. And then in our study we found it, we can find the evidence for that. Then the next really interesting question, is there any data that show opposite data? Until now, from the material that we use, I have not found the material that have that against the myth or the legend. Why? Because now we still explore limited material. Okay, because this kind of research is not well developed yet. Because before, every researcher, they do the experiment separately. Human experiment just do human experiment, chemical experiment just do chemical experiment. So because now our data that we prove is only like igusa, hinoki, sugi, and then other material. So from those limited data that we already check, most of them is like have linear correlation with the myth that surrounded to the participant. I hope in the future. So now actually we try to collaborate with Indonesian researcher. We try to see the effect of the lemongrass, because I'm Indonesian. Of course, I want to know this kind of material, serai wangi, this kind of material. So in Indonesia, we believe this kind of aroma can reduce the headache. I hope in the future I can prove it. Yes.
So
Thank
the
you.
now is on the going to process to prove the math, but
Yes.
it might be has some belief cannot support by the scientific evidence, but it is still limited the data. So we need to encourage the both data
Yes.
that it is proof or not proof. So
Yes.
it is ongoing process. Thank you very much.
And also the more interesting thing is like there are a lot of aroma that we want to check. But as a researcher, budget is important. So please pray for me, for our team, to get the budget for exploring the aroma. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And another question from the audience. Thank you very much for your great presentation. The experimental results suggest that the sense of igusa enhance the concentration during the work. Was this result obtained from the individual like Japanese people who have been exposed to the smell of igusa since childhood, or would the people from the culture where the igusa not familiar sense from also the experience similar effect? But do you have
Yes.
any answer?
That is really great question and really important question. So that is why developing a preliminary experiment is important. So to answer that question, actually we believe that aroma also have a correlation with the culture, right? So to minimize that cultural effect, every participant who joined to our current project are Japanese. Yes, because we try to avoid the confounding factor, external factor. So yes, that is my answer. All the participants is Japanese for this time. So after we clear with the this region, after we clear with the Japanese region, of course we're gonna try to expand our research to the more various culture, like from Asia category or Kyushu Asiana, how to say? Yeah, Asia Oceania category, and then Europe or America in the future. So now that's why we limited our participant into Japanese only. That is a really good question. Really, really good
Thank you very
question.
much.
Yeah.
Additionally, I would like to ask a small question about regarding the IGSA study. As you said, you still limited the Japanese participant to experiment. But as you said, some of them are not familiar, even Japanese people, younger generation, not living in the IGSA, the tatami anymore. So did you ask any question? Do you have a washitsu? Or the participant, do they have living the washitsu? So if they have a washitsu, there's a tatami. So,
Yes, yes.
so did you ask some small question to the participant, or just generally for participate the Japanese people?
Really, really good question again. I really love this kind of question. So because we are conducting experiment with human, we are not only gathering the participant, but we interview. We interview the participant. So that is why this is working with the team. It's not only me, but also my team. So we have one person has responsibility to communicate with participant because my Japanese is limited. So during that interview, as you already suspected, we also asked them. So do you have tatami in your home? So usually they said in my hometown they have. So yeah, in our current participant who join our study, they have experience to expose the IGUSA material and also to quantify the data. Again, we use this anket. This questionnaire is like one of the important anket for us. Yes, really good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a clear answer. And the one more question from the audience. How do you decide the brain area which you would like to expose when comparing before and after the aroma inhalation?
Yes, this is also another really good and great experiment. Question. I mean, not experiment. I'm too excited with the question. So, yeah, we don't have many data about the brain before. I mean, maybe some researcher they only do one channel electrode, another electrode. So in our team, since we have the basic knowledge, how the aroma go to our brain. Then we already have some hypothesis. Then to decide which area have the effect to the brain activity, the next we conduct experiment by using a lot of channel. One of the channel, I don't know some people are familiar or not, but let me make clear. So this is only 4 channel electroencephalogram. But if we want to know which area is correlated with the more specific, or if we don't know, for example, IGUSA, in the beginning we don't know which area gonna be enhanced, right? So what we do is like we use a lot of channel. We use this kind of at least 32 channel. At least these 32 channels, we conduct the experiment, and then what we do is we compare without aroma, and then we conduct the analysis, which is we call it as quantitative EEG analysis. I'm sorry for a little bit too technique, but if you want to know more, you can come to my laboratory. So we try to conduct the quantitative electroencephalography, and then we try to extract from the raw data to the brain topography data. So this is brain topography data. So actually we are blind. We don't know. Actually we don't know. Then we try to compare with when there is aroma and without aroma. We try to convert the data from the time domain data to the frequency data, and then we plot into the brain topography. Then last we perform the statistical analysis. Yes, that is how we decide. Oh, finally in the frontal area is increased. Oh, finally in the temporal area or occipital area is increased. Thank you very much for the important question.
Wow, that's very comprehensive way to analyze the
Yeah.
data.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you very much.
I think yes, one more question is coming. So I think the almost time. So I think that this is the last question from the audience.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Fruitful presentation. In some herbal product, especially coming the Indonesian, which I like to consume, is it written scientifically proven based on your experience? To what extent should I trust this fact?
So in Indonesia itself, we have the BPOM, Badan Pengawas Obat something. So it's like FDA in America, I think. Yeah, yes. We have that kind of thing. So if you want to try to trust from that. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what I can say. But again, mostly if we talk the herbal product in Indonesia, it's so rare they conduct the experiment to the human. Usually what they do in the cell, in vitro, in vivo experiment. But for the human experiment, it's still so far. I have not heard any report about the human experiment by using the physiological measurement in Indonesia. If you ask me why, first because the human resource. We need to learn neuroinformatics to understand how the brain and the sensor working. But in Indonesia, this kind of the field still rare. So yeah, maybe the data that you have maybe based on the in vivo and in vitro experiment, not from the human experiment. And if you ask me who you to trust, at least you need to trust BPOM. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the
Ayo, Kak.
experimental human experiment is a very difficult to approve the ethical issue. Yeah, so that's why that you need the collaborator from the medical field or any other field. So I hope that this chance increase the more interest about your research and many of the collaborator or contact with you.
Yes,
Thank
I'm looking forward for the contact.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes.
Thank you for your very wonderful presentation and active Q&A session. So it was very productive. And again, I want to say thank you to all your effort to create this time. And also, I would like to thank to all the participants to participate in this lunch groundwork seminar today. Thank you for all. And I would like to back to the QAO's Secretariat. 事務局の方にお返しさせていただきます。Thank you very much.
Zennifa 先生、若林先生、ありがとうございました。最後に事務局より3点ご案内させていただきます。まず、次回のブラウンバックセミナーのご案内です。次回は9月10日水曜日12時10分より、琉球大学理学部海洋自然科学科の島田幸次郎助教より、大気環境科学農業経営で沖縄県の窒素肥料量を最適化するスマートアグリの開発と題し、講演を実施いたします。詳細はホームページをご覧ください。